Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Downrange Garage. It is me, Devin, and we are back. So last video, we went and finished up the trim plate for the radio. And I got ideas there. Now, I gotta get that guy done. So we're gonna go ahead and get that modified so I can get my air ride controls in it. And we're gonna move on from that point. Hopefully in this video, I can get this all wrapped up. Fingers crossed. It's just a radio install and it's dragging out way too long. So I really want to get this done in the car and move on. I got other things in the works I'm trying to put together right now. So planning on getting back on that. That is hot on the list of things to do, but I do have some other things I do need to address. And I figure while I'm addressing it, we might as well make some good content and then I can get stuff out of the way, done. You can see some cool stuff and then we're gonna get back onto the Mustang. So it's been too long, but hey, enough of that. I need to get to work. Let's get to work. Hello. All right, so we are over here. I got the airlift installation guide out, and it gives me a nice little template right there for the controller for the air ride. So I made a template of the template. What I'm going to do next is I have the dash panel all taped up because I want to be extra careful with this. It is resin carbon fiber over aluminum. Okay, so what I need to do now is cut the black line as straight as humanly possible. Now the interesting part will be is I want to round the corners. That way the controller sits super nice and everything else has a rounded curve to the corners anyway, so I figured it would blend in real good and it would maintain that continuity of the actual panel. So I'm gonna proceed to destroy a very expensive dashboard now. I ain't gonna lie, I'm just a wee bit nervous. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on this now. Now, I'm not worried about getting through the material. I have all the tools necessary to do it, but my fear is being that if I heat up the aluminum too much while cutting through, that I'm gonna end up boiling the carbon fiber and causing it to lift. So it's honestly a little terrifying. I don't really wanna cut it too long because it's going to be really hard to file and sand and straighten it back out. Even though it is aluminum, it's going to take a while to do that. So I gotta ride that razor's edge of, yeah, that's good right there, and oh god, oh god, oh god. So I'm going to get to it here and pray for me.
Behaving in a manner that is unacceptable between allies and partners. No, it wasn't a cheese embargo that made the French mad. They were angry that the Biden administration agreed to provide nuclear-powered submarines to Australia. France wanted to sell its own submarines, and the Biden administration effectively told them to give
Hi, welcome back to the neighborhood. All right, so we got the dash panel trimmed out now, and it fits the controller. Very nice, very nice. So I think I'm gonna sand a little bit more at the end, but I'm very happy with where it's at right now. So I got that done, but now I gotta make a mounting board for this and a filler panel for the side to fill in the rest of the gapping. Plus, I need something to mount the phone mount. So, over here, I'm using a sheet of HDPE, high density polyethylene. You can get this in 4x8 sheets like a piece of plywood at some hardware stores. I haven't seen it at Home Depot, but I bought it at Menards, which is a local supplier near me. So this stuff is super durable. I use it to make my splitters and diffusers and other parts. It's just really great to work with. It's easy to work with, it cuts easy, and it takes punishment. You can smack this stuff with a hammer and it does not break. I have beaten the heck out of this with the splitter on the front of my Mercedes over and over again, and it's got minimal damage. So, we're gonna go ahead, hey sweetie. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut out the main back piece, which will go behind it, and then we're gonna cut out the filler piece, which is going to fill next to the controller. So it's gonna look something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So, take it back to work. Shane, stop.
So I misspoke, but yeah, the Russian speak is what they say.
I did.
Well, it's still, I mean, look at what they did that
There's no glue on
other
this
time.
table?
They only hacked
Okay.
computers, or I'm sorry, they did not hack
What
the
doesn't?
computers that had Russia as its first language.
Hey, okay, so we're back on the radio. Now this pertains to the radio install for my Maserati people. So what you guys saw previously was me creating a filler panel. Now I cut out the original controls because that section was just going to be open and blank, and I didn't want to just have blank stuff. Plus I have an air ride on this car, and I'm integrating my air ride control directly into the dash. That's going in. That's the filler panel, which I'll actually be making a foam mount for. So I'll get you more on that in the next scene here, but what I wanted to address right now is if you're doing a radio install, you're going to have to manufacture your own radio mount. So if you're going to go through the original screen opening, which I assume most people will, you're going to have to actually make up something to hold the radio. Now, believe it or not, these right here are the original Blawpunk brackets. I was able to scavenge them from the scrap, and then just because I'm an opportunist, I found some scrap strap, just universal stuff laying around, and I was able just to glob weld it on real quick. They're not pretty, but it does the job. I did it in a rush because I just want to get this done. So I had to bend it and tweak it and trim it and get it to where it needed to go. So you're gonna have to spend some time actually figuring out where you want the radio, how it's gonna mount up. You gotta put the brackets on. These just so happen to line up pretty much perfectly with some of the holes that were already on the new radio. So with that being said, you're gonna have to address that issue, get creative. Now, something that I am gonna also have to do is that these, you should recognize, are your controls for the car. They got a big old plug coming through, and that plug lands pretty much smack dab in the middle. So after I disassemble this, I'm gonna trim it, put the buttons in, mark it, trim out the section where the buttons are gonna go. That way it clears, but it should still be plenty strong to hold the radio in place. Because this is a digital receiver, it really doesn't weigh anything. Oh, you're looking all over the place. It really doesn't weigh anything. So it's very light, and even if you had a regular radio, I still think it'd be able to support it, but you may want to add some kind of back strap or something in, I don't know. But the radio is mounted in there. It's got a real nice flush fitment. Well, flush is gonna be. Radio straight, dash has a curve, you do what you can. But I kind of just leveled off the corners, which was my big thing. So I wanted to have the corners at least level or tucked. I didn't want to go too far in because then it'd create a gap and I feel like that'd be too funky. So I just brought the radio right to the edge, and that's where I finagled it on. Now, I ended up using channel locks and vice grips and some squeezy clamps. Come in handy a lot. And that is how I ended up making the radio mount. So I think it should work out good. Now the only issue that I noticed is that the straps themselves, the holes, are pretty large, and the factory screws that go through the faceplate onto the actual trim panel, that itself is, they're pretty much almost the same exact size. So I'll have to get creative once more. I'll maybe drop a washer in there, who knows, and get that to hold tight. But as of the moment, the radio mount is fabricated. I know where this is going now. I'm super happy about this part. Yeah, so from here on, I'm gonna be breaking this all down again. I'm gonna prime and paint the panel so it all blends together and looks nice. I still have yet to decide if I'm going to pop those chrome trim rings out and paint the side pieces too. I would prefer to, but at the same time, I don't want to damage something that's going to be really expensive, hard to find, XYZ. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to jump off that because that's ready to go for paint and that's ready for its next stage. And I'm going to finish up this guy. So flip it over here. That is where my air ride's going to go. So I needed a backing plate and I heated it up to curve it down to make sure that it lands where it's supposed to. So, like I said, you can blank it out, something similar. You can actually go ahead and make a full trim panel just to fill that in. You can put a clock, a pocket, I don't know, get creative. Unfortunately, because this is a full custom install, results may vary. So, I would think if you have nothing extra to put on the car, maybe just getting a pocket and putting a pocket in there would work. But yep, that's the moment. I'm gonna jump on to the next thing. Hey, what's going on? Okay, so we are back. Finished up everything that needed to be done. Brackets are made. They came out super great. So they're a little flimsy, but they'll do the job. They'll hold the radio nice and tight in there. I already had it bolted in and pre-fitted and it worked out well. Now you have to notch it if you do something similar using the original radio brackets like I did to fit past your controls on either side of the radio. Now, I sprayed the radio, primed it, painted it, got it all done. I ended up using a satin black, and then I went over it with a plasti dip. Now, the plasti dip was able to give it a almost identical finish, and I'm super, super happy. Now, it's a little darker, but I think it's just because this is dirty, plus it's a little bit aged. But once it's in the car, I don't think you'll even notice there's any variant whatsoever. Once it's detailed and I got detailer spray and everything on it, it will look great. Now over here, I finished the center panel. Now, you're looking at this thing, and in all honesty, once I pulled the tape off, I couldn't even tell what I did and what was factory. So I am super happy with how this came out. I think it looks just absolutely stunning. So the original radio controls were right here, here, and here. Had a diamond, square, diamond. So practice your shapes. So I took my time, very well spent time, and everything came out super, super well. So I'm very happy on how the finish of this came out. Now, while it was still taped up, I had a nice sanded edge. Everything was perfectly fit. It was already taped. So I went and I used some flat black spray paint and got it right on the edge on the inside so it matches the factory stuff. So once all the controls are in, I don't think you'll even notice. And honestly, I think it will look just super fantastic. I'm super excited. But this is what I've been waiting on. Right here is the radio wiring kit for the car. Now here's the original that I got, and it looks, I mean, I could use this if I had to, but I wanted to try to have as minimal issues as possible. So I ordered this off of Amazon. I literally just punched in year, make, and model of the car, and this is what I got. It really had no name, and this is the only name I found on it, even on the instructions. Correct. Right. Okay. So, hopefully this little gizmo doesn't give me any issues. Now I noticed something funny on it. If you look right there, yeah, that says Volkswagen. There we go, Volkswagen. Sure, if it works, it works, and I'll be happy about it. I could have got away with the other harness, but I wanted to try to have as minimal issues as possible. And all honesty, I didn't know what was going to interact, what wasn't. And I believe this picks up a signal off the CAN bus system to turn the radio on. I'm going to pre-fit it in the car first before I put the full dash in finalized, so I know everything functions correctly. This is still the standard European harness, just like this one. Except this was 70 and this was 20. Hopefully it was worth the money. So we'll find out shortly here. But everything came out really, really good. I'm super excited. I can't wait to get this done in. I can drive the car again. I'm ready to enjoy it. Other stuff's got to come in. We got other products to get done, so I need to hurry up and get this thing out of here. Let me get to work, and I'm going to get this thing put back together. All right, guys. Well, I'm pretty much there. Let me show you what we got. So here is my new dash panel. Got the radio mounted, got the air ride mounted, and you're probably asking what the heck is going on over here. Well, I have a magnetic phone mount, and I put the mount right there. So I've been using the magnet for quite some time now, and I really love it, but man, this thing just looks sharp. I'm super happy. Controller looks great. It all has a similar finish to it. I mean, even down to the rubber buttons, I mean, it blends in. It looks like it was supposed to be there. I'm so happy with this thing. Let me stand it up. See if we can get a different view. Whoa, wild. Yeah, here we go. It came out really, really good. Now, I had to do some stuff to this radio that I'm not proud of and or don't want to show, but I'm going to do it anyways. All right. Now, I told you about the Alpine radio, which is roughly about 3 inches in mounting depth. I highly recommend you get a shallow mount radio for this car, because this is what I had to do. I had to dissect my radio and hack it to bits. And the reason it looks all jagged and gross is because I didn't want to use a cutoff tool and throw metal shavings into the circuit board, causing an internal short. So I did a slow method. I used some tin snips and just hacked away at it. Yeah, I'm not happy. It's gross. I don't like it at all. I can't wait to get the new radio. This one also does not have a ton of options that I want, but turn that back around because I don't want to look at it anymore. It hurts my feelings. But it will do for the time being, and I'll cover the back of the radio with something. something. But yeah, this is it. And this right here, I'm actually going to fish through my USB Type-C connector for my phone. That way I can just push and pull the cord in and out of the dash. And there's my phone. Have it right on the dash. I can rotate it to get it out of the way what I need to. Somewhere to go, and it ain't going anywhere. I mean, it stays on there really well. Sorry about the guy getting in the way of the camera and the light, but Got screens for days. I can't wait to get this all plugged in and lit up. It'll look interesting. But yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and install this in the car and check it out. There's nothing really special about this part. I mean, it's pretty much a reverse process of the initial removal. Now you're just plugging everything back in. Here is the new harness. I have it all soldered together. It's got the box on there. I won't close this video out just yet, but I want to say thank you now to everybody that has been watching, subscribing. I hope that somebody out there with similar car to mine got some useful information out of this. I tried to make it as clean and professional as possible, so I hope the video came out okay, at least to your liking. Please leave comments. Let me know how I'm doing. Should I have done something a little more, a little less? Not at all. Let me know, please. So definitely hit that like, subscribe. It means the world to me. A lot more content. This car is still gonna get a lot of stuff done to it. But, oh, and don't forget, I am putting out there, I want ideas for the crappy car overhaul. I just, the most ridiculous, ugly vehicle that people can think of, let me know. I want to find the best one, and we're gonna go ahead and try to find this car, hopefully, fingers crossed, and we're gonna do this car up and try to make it just one of the baddest street machines out there. So please go down in the comments, let me know what you think. But as of the moment, I'm gonna go ahead and get this wrapped up here. So it's just about ready to go back in the car. I just got a couple little tidy up things I need to do. Yeah, I mean, that's it. So let's get this in the car and get it finished. Hey, what's going on? All right, so I have the radio installed. I pre-did the harness. It kind of bulky, but I actually was able to strap it down pretty well. So the factory harness, got a connector here, another connector that drops down in the passenger footwell. I got the module in, got it all wired up. This is the remote turn on for the amps I'm going to install, so I'm going to get that hooked up too. Got the control buttons wired up, and I zip tied everything as tight as possible. Now this cavity right here is where the original radio used to be, so I'm not so worried about the bulk right here getting in the way, because there is a massive pocket right in this location. So I'm feeling good. I ran my connectors. One of these wires is for the air ride, and the other one is for my phone charger. So anyway, so I'm going to put a USB plug somewhere. Yeah. And I'll wire that into the car where it will pull power from the cigarette lighter, but it won't occupy the cigarette lighter. So got that going. Yeah, so I'm just now finaling it up. I'm gonna get it in the car in the next few minutes here. So I got to adjust some stuff in the car that was previously installed, make myself happy, and then we're gonna get the radio back in and finish this up. Hello people, my people, you have found the way. We have finished the radio. All right, so this is my bagged out 2008 Maserati Quattroporte. My own personal custom edition. So we are bagged, we are on the floor, and I love this car. So, let's get inside. And here we go, guys, all done, and man, oh man, did that come out nice. So the radio came out exquisite, everything fits super well. The radio does poke out just a touch, but I actually can drop it in a little bit more. We'll see when I change the next radio. But yeah, so I got my air ride mounted in here. This is my phone mount right here. Like I said, I got a magnet, so I just modified a bolt. Painted it. Looks good. I'm not worried about it. And then there is my charging cord. Now, if I can only figure out a way to get it to retract, I think that would be just super, but I'm okay with this. I'm fine. This is fine. This is fine. So, gotta actually have it out a little bit to put the phone on, which is a little irritating, but maybe later on when I do the dash, I may make another one that doesn't have the hole here and relocate the wire somewhere else. I don't know, it's another time. But yeah, it came out super clean, super nice. And let's fire it up. I'm gonna start by putting some music on. So. There we go. See, my phone mounts perfectly. It doesn't go anywhere. Hard to come off. Looks great. Let me close the door so I can turn this light off. All right, let's power up. Yes, those are my air compressors running. So it actually sounds really good. I don't want to play the music because I don't want to hit any copyright infringement stuff. But overall, I'm very happy. It came out superb. Sorry about the noise. I'm gonna turn that off, or it'll be done in a minute. But overall, I'm super happy with it. It came out extremely nice. I just gotta do some cleanup, finish everything, get all the fingerprints off, but for the most part, that's it. That is the M139 aftermarket radio install. Everything works really, really well. I have no issues with it. Like I said, I plan on putting a better radio in here, but this one works for the time being because I just needed music on my long morning commutes. So, hey, I want to thank everybody. Appreciate it. Sorry about the long videos, but I just wanted to smash this all together, and it does take time for quality work. You want to have a final product like this, I highly suggest just taking your time and doing it right. Best stuff doesn't happen instantly. So, on that note, hey, thanks everybody. I appreciate it, and we'll see you again downrange.
What's going on? I'm Devin. Welcome back to Downrange Garage. We're back on the Mozzie Radio project.